Hello, beautiful people. This is Chris from the Landlord Training Institute. We help property managers manage their properties themselves without the stress of tenants and toilets or the monthly expense of a property manager. This week's video is all about why December is my very favorite month, and it has nothing to do with Christmas. Let's get to it. Okay, so for several years now, the month of December is a month for me to look back and see what worked and what didn't in my business. And this year, I've identified 3 things that I need to tighten up for 2022. First off, I've got a property where I pay the entire electricity bill. Just one, but there is one. This year, we had by far the hottest summer for the longest summer since about the mid-80s. We had 4 months where it was pretty routinely, give or take 30, 35 Celsius, which is about 90 or a little bit above Fahrenheit. That's not normal for us. But this property where I pay the electricity bill, it hadn't even occurred to me until this summer. These folks are going to want to run portable air conditioners, and they did. There was 3 of them going at times there, and I'm talking about 18 to 24 hours a day, 3 of them running. So I saw an increase in my electricity bill for that property for about 4 months, an increase of $300 every single month. That puts a huge stress on cash flow. It's something that was unexpected, that Mother Nature served up to us, and now I've got to deal with it. So how I'm going to deal with that is as follows. Adding to my lease for 2022 for all renewals is going to be, if you are using a portable air conditioner, you're going to pay me $40 extra per month. That's not going to cover all of my costs, but again, this was a once every 35, 40 years heat wave. I'm not expecting it to ever be this bad again anytime soon, but I've got to have a way to offset those costs. Another thing that got me thinking about was electric cars. I don't know how soon it will be that my demographic of 20-somethings is going to be able to afford electric cars, but I'm expecting it won't be that long. And for that property, I am outlawing charging electric cars. I don't care if you've got it, but you've got to find somewhere else to charge it. Next up, okay, so I looked back and I discovered that I had a rent increase mid-term last year because those tenants added an animal. The entire deposit had been collected up to that point, but when they add the animal, the rent goes up. But I failed to collect that extra deposit. So in this case, it was $175. They added a dog. They're paying me $175 a month for that dog. But I didn't collect the $175 for the damage deposit. So to remedy that situation, what I've done is in the approval process, added to the approval checklist is going to be deposit if additional is owing is paid. That should solve the problem. The last thing I'm going to talk about in today's quick video is my lease signing transactions. So I've been doing this digital for several years now. What I've run into is my demographic of 20-somethings, and a lot of these are university students, but not all of them, are having to learn how to use Adobe to do that. So that's what I've been doing. I've been sending them a lease as a PDF, unsigned. They sign the lease on their phone. I encourage them to download the free app, or they can do it on their computer if they want. And they sign it, send it back. I sign it, and we move forward from there. But some of them are having trouble figuring out the signature option on Adobe. It's maybe not the most intuitive thing. And so for next year, I'm moving to DocuSign. It's going to be an added expense for me, but that's what I'm doing. Essentially with DocuSign, what's going to happen is they get an email, they open up the email, it is going to prompt them to create a signature. They'll do that, and then it is going to prompt them, and it will skip everything in between those points in which they have to sign. So they don't have to scan and look for those spots. They just get prompted exactly where they are, and a copy automatically gets sent to them once they have signed it. So it's reducing a couple possible touch points for me, but most of all, it's going to be a little bit quicker and it's going to be easier for me. So those are 3 of the things. I'm sure there's going to be more to come, but those are 3 of the things that I'm going to be implementing in 2022. I won't actually know how DocuSign goes until August when my leases renew. Because I have such a high percentage of students, I set everything up to renew in August. And so it'll be a while before I know if that one works, but the rest of them should be actually pretty straightforward, really. I'm Chris from the Landlord Training Institute. We help take the pain out of property management. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit the bell below to get notified every single week when we do videos like this And I encourage you, head to landlordtraininginstitute.com/generator. That's going to give you a free tool to help writing your headlines for your ads. I'll see you next week.